Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́, níbikíbi tẹ́ bá wà. Greetings in the name of the Most High, Oyoiwa. Then bring her out of existence. Oyo, bring her out, Iwa, existence. Oyoiwa, the one that make life to exist. Yes. Kíákíá mo fẹ́ ṣe léyìí because ó wá sọ́kàn mi nǹkan tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ilẹ̀ aláwọ̀ dúdú pé ká mọ importance TOORA tí a ń pè ní àtọ́ ìwà ire lórí ìgbésí ayé wa àti bí a ṣe lè bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú. Spirituality wa is the first thing nínú ilé ayé yìí. A gbogbo wa mọ̀ pé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí èèyàn bá kú gan pàápàá, ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ò lè kú, ara ló máa ń kú. Kọ̀sẹ̀ mi lọ títí láì ní tó pé ọ̀dọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà gangan ni ẹ̀mí ti wá, kò dẹ̀ lè kú. Ó máa lọ ni. It's part of Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà. So now, the same Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà ó ti fi wá ṣe orí gbogbo àwọn ìran tó wà nílé ayé yìí. But tá bá wò bóyá ń lọ àwa la wà nísàlẹ̀. Why? A ti mọ̀ díẹ̀ àti sọ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa ló separate wa. Àrí pé Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà ò ní orílẹ̀-èdè títí ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbé ẹ̀. Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà dúdú ni, kò ń ṣe funfun rárá, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe Arab. So fún àpẹẹrẹ tẹ́ bá wo President Burkina Faso ń Central rẹ̀, mo rí fídíò kan tó ń ṣòwò pé bí tí Traoré ṣe jẹ́ bí Ethiopian Bible ṣe influence decisions ẹ̀. Olúwa ń lò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, ó dẹ̀ máa lò parí fún iṣẹ́. Ẹ̀yin Yorùbá ẹ lọ yí padà kó má bàa pa yín tán. Tó ní bá pé ẹ bá jẹ́ babaláwo, ẹ bá jẹ́ wòlíì, ẹ bá jẹ́ Sunday school teacher, ẹ bá jẹ́ àfà. Ṣé rí Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà nínú Bíbélì yẹn ló sì máa dájọ́ for everybody o. Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà Bíbélì yẹn ló máa jẹ́ ká mọ ẹni tó máa gbàlà, ẹni tí ò gbàlà kò ń ṣe Allah Quran. Ṣé rí Allah Quran yẹn, Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà Bíbélì yẹn náà TOORA yẹn ló máa dájọ́ fún. So kí ló wá ń worry wa? Black Lover girl, what's up? How you doing? So Ọ̀yọ́ ìwà nínú Bible yẹn náà ló máa dájọ́ fún. So what are we talking in essence is like, whether we believe or not, is the God of the Bible that will be the judge. Whether we are prostitute, whether we are idol worshiper, whether we are white, black, whatever we are, is the God of the Bible that will judge us. So what sense does that bring? It makes sense because then we can actually, all right, okay, oh yeah, okay, Black Lover girl, I will, okay, so let me exit, okay. Okay, you're India, okay, no problem. So yeah, even in India now, let me even quickly go to India, okay, with what we're talking about. You know that Black Lover girl, you know that Indian was not the base of like, you know, the creativity of God, humanity. Femi is my name. Iteshi Joshi, Femi is my name. And I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Yoruba. Jack Marrow. No, I'm just getting up. I'm just getting up, actually. I'm just awakening. So my eyes like this. Yes. Well, anyway. So, Black Lover girl, you know that Indian people also were not born. That is creativity. That is the creation story was not in India. So I'm saying that to say that many of these nations were not occupied in the creativity. People moved from where Adam, when he left the garden, when he made the sacrifice, the first sacrifice wasn't to Shiva. You understand? So in India, for example, now there are a lot of gods, there are a lot of religions. You have the Catholics, but what I don't tell the Indians is like you have a lot of them that are Israelites. A lot of Indians are Israelites. They actually got there by suffering also, just like the Yorubas got to Nigeria by, by pain, by any means. Most of these people, the Aborigines, got to wherever they are by running away from some danger, or some circumstances. So that trigger the history of many of these unwanted people suffering everywhere. If your nation is under United Nations, but you don't have any say, there are chances that actually you've been an Israelite, especially if they put taxes and you're worthless and all these things going around you, and you still, maybe in your family or your tribe, you're very faithful, you love God, you have your temple, but your temple is Sikh temple, or your temple is Arikshina temple, or your temple is a Christian temple, or your temple is a Babalawo temple in Yoruba land. No, I'm not saying good, I'm not saying bad about India. I'm just talking in general, just connecting the Bible to the people who owns it. Whether you're India, whether you're Pakistani, you see in Pakistan, India, they fighting each other. But all of us actually, we come from the same mother, we know that. But inside of coming from the same mother, you still have the preferred of God, okay, which is known as the Isharialites. Okay, we call them Isharialites. We call them Isharialites, Israelites. And these people are suffering everywhere or having pain to understand why they exist, because of the pain and the hardship they're going through, just as their fathers went through. And these people might be India. Many of them are now, all of them are in painful situations all over the world, because that's what the Torah, the Bible said that Oyoiwa himself will scatter them. You understand that? Okay. So in that case, so I'm making a reference quickly to that, so that even if you're in India, you have to check this out. If you're Sikh, if you're Arikshna, if you're Buddhist, if you're Christian, if you're whatever, is the God of the Bible that will decide your afterlife. And your afterlife is not going to be decided by God of the Bible, just like from, it's what you do if you follow the information of the Torah. Because what the problem is like, okay, B, we come to daily live, and my name is some. Okay, Somya. Okay, no problem, Somya. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for coming. So, can you believe in religion and science at the same time? Science, Jack Marrow. Oh, that's very fantastic, Jack. Really, I love that. I think science, is basically, I won't say science is a religion, so there's no need to think that you want to believe in science. You know science is a knowledge, you know. So religion is a knowledge that can actually have a science in it, because you have some Scientologists. So religion can comprise anything, but the actual real religion, the true one, which the Torah gave as definition, is to visit the fatherless, help the widow, take care of the homeless people, and abstain from things that are sacrificed to idols, and practice abstinence from the world, that is prostitution and all this immorality, to abstain from them. That is the real religion according to the Bible. But then when you talk about faith, now you're talking about where you hanging your inside on. You can hang your inside on religion also. Your heart can be, religious and all that, but religion is not the whole thing. When you're talking concrete, faith is the thing. And now to that question, can you practice? Can you believe in religion and have science? I think it depends on how you look at it. If you want to see, like I said, science in itself is a religion, or somehow, for people who want to hang on that, but it shouldn't be a religion, it should be a knowledge. Religion also is a knowledge of certain, how do you say, spirituality, okay? The thing that made the Bible different is like it's talking about the acceptable faith and spirituality and religion, if you may call it anything, but that inside that believe in something, that hold on to something, the acceptable one is the one that the Torah gives, which is the Bible of today. So what I'm saying is, no matter where you come from, no matter what you practice, it's better to face the Bible. I understand, because after all, the God of that book is gonna be the God who's gonna judge scientists, doctors, athletes, lawyers, poor, rich, bound, slaves, and everybody, even the spirits. So it make uncommon sense to actually okay, black love again. You can't believe I'm seventh class, bro. Okay, no problem. Jack Mara, I agree as I am a physicist, but we can't prove that there is no God, so the debate is still open. Yeah, and let me tell you, Jack Maro, you know what the Bible say? It said we should beware of the opposition of science. Okay, you understand that? Paul, in his writing, he said in one place, I just paraphrase, he said, beware of the opposition of science. So that means Paul's faith is opposed to or against science, and science is against Paul's faith. And what's Paul's faith? Paul's faith is based on the Torah. That is the commandment of Moses and circumcision and what do you call that? Um Baptism and Christ and faith to salvation. You see that things, those things, yeah? It's just terminology, it's just one stuff. Love God, love humanity. Okay? Love God, love your neighbor. That's it. But the problem we have in is like we always want to put that love, we interchange them. We want to love humanity before God because we don't see God. We only blame Him when things don't go our way. So we always want to be, I love you. Why God didn't do that? Why God didn't do that? And that shouldn't be the thing. God is our Father. I can't love an outsider, a human before God. As long as you're a good person, it doesn't matter to me. And okay, I didn't know that about opposing signs, but I've been baptized, so that's a little bit of saving grace. Yeah, but Jack Marrow, we have to know that baptism means nothing. You know what? You know that Christ was betrayed by Judas, and we know that Christ was baptized so well as all his disciples. Thomas didn't believe in the first place. He was baptized, and Judas that crucified Christ was also baptized. So baptism will be nothing if we don't back it up with everyday open heart to God. Anyway, He sees us, so we can't close anything from Him. So if we hide it and say, "Oh, I'm worshiping," no baptism. So what we got to do, we got to check with the Almighty. If the Bible accepts what we're doing, we are good to go. If we don't know, because the Bible in itself is already complete, He's giving us a grace to have the Holy Spirit, which is every day go to know about anything at all. You know, anything at all is the abiding spirit that Christ Himself promised we can ask from Him. Okay? We have to ask for that gift of Holy Spirit. It will teach us. It will remind us. It will let us know where we stand. So, Jack Marrow, it's good that we're baptized, a good step, but we have to also continue to do what Torah and Oyoiwa actually demand of us, which is to follow Him day by day, to carry our cross. Okay, so as a Yoruba person, I'm still also indebted to telling my people. You see the revolution that is happening in Africa now. You see a gentleman, a gentle president. The West is saying is a military. It's not accepted, but they've been bullying us with their military every year by whatever, and they were democratically elected people, America, but their military, CIA, and all this, and putting us down like idiots. So we have a military that's standing, so we have to take him out because he's not civilian. You are stupidity is opening to the world. The same thing has happened all over again. In Egypt, it happened. We've been in Yemen. We go and read the book of Tobit. Jack Marrow, I'd like you to read the book of Tobit actually to say a certain thing about Toby. Tobit. It's Tobit is in the Apocrypha, and see what happened to our people where we're living around Arabia in today Iran and things like that. So these are things that we have to put together. God has his own people, but other people have hijacked that. Other people have hijacked every information that Torah is giving us to be able to manipulate us, even with things like CERN in Switzerland, scientific manipulation, because now you can't manipulate the masses anymore with whatever. So they have to push the last fight, which is letting loose the hell, the pit of hell on humanity with scientific things. So Jack, you see what they're doing in CERN in Switzerland with Shiva and all this opening of portals and the colliders and whatever things they're doing. You say I've never read the Bible. I'm honest, not sure if I believe in the afterlife. I've died once or twice and been brought back to life. There was no bright light, as people say. Yeah, people is not the one who's gonna determine what's gonna happen to us. We ain't gonna determine what happened to us, you know. And the Bible tell us what will happen, and we know that the Bible is the word of God. So anything outside that circle, we're taking a risk, a risk that might end up not good. As long as you're a good person, yeah. But the Bible said there's no good person. You remember, there was a place in the evangel that Christ was asked about I think it was a lawyer that came to him and I called him good master, and the response was like, why do you call me good? There's none good except one God. So to see that now, I'm not a good person, brother. There's no good person, but because the inside of us is so deep in darkness, in thinking negative, we shouldn't. I mean, think about it. We are not bad like we go around killing people or stuff like that, but still, we are not still perfect, as God wants us to be perfect. So there's no good person. And those good person today you see, when they will see the danger that's coming, there is possibility, if you don't have the Spirit of God, everyone will change. They will follow the trend, and the trend that is coming, we have to choose only two choices. There's only two ways. There's no three without say, okay, I'm standing in between. I'm not Christian, I'm not Muslim, I don't believe in anything. There's nothing like that. So if you have agnostic, if you're atheist or atheist or whatever you call them, if you're any of these things, you have the devil. Because uh the people that we follow, that we've seen the works of their hands is lasting forever, are the people who actually have faith. You know, so not to have faith is not belonging to humanity. It's the devil that wants us to believe that you can stay outside in the corner. Don't believe in devil, don't believe in God. No, there's nothing like that. It's true. So there's no, I don't believe in any two. If you don't believe in Christ, automatically you are of the devil. It's not forcing anyone still, okay? It's just the truth. When he hits you, Bob Marley sang a song. He said one thing about the music, when he hits you, you feel no pain. That's really true, right? Because the way, but what he's saying is trying paraphrasing, or no, he's trying understating or overstating the sentence about the goodness of good music. It's gonna hit you like bomb, but definitely you don't feel no pain because it's sweet, but it will hit you though. So it's the same thing about truth. The truth, when it hits you, you're like, oh, why are you forcing me? You want to push back. You want to physically push it back because it's a light. The darkness have to resist and say, but light is like a cat and darkness is like a rat. You know, light is a cat, darkness is a rat. All the generation of rats, when they see a cat, they must run for their life. It's the same thing. It's been there for, I don't know. That's what's gonna be. You without dreams. Yeah, I agree with that. No one is perfect. Yes, Jacko, no one. Think I'm agnostic. I'm open to concept, just not entirely convinced by it. Brother, it's good to, also to try things. You know, me, I was born a son of a prophet, but I've prayed in the mosque before my, went with my friend when I was growing up in Lagos, Nigeria, to mosque several times, and when they had fast, I did some fast with them, and my father knew about it. They told my father I went to mosque. It's like, okay, he knows what he's doing. He had to test things, but I know you understand. And thank God he had that trust, because today I wouldn't go in the mosque now. What I want to do, and I don't hate anyone who go in the mosque, but what is under the mosque, what is in that faith is not coming from the Almighty. And that is where the problem is, because we know the truth, and the truth will make us free. If God doesn't accept it, no matter how many people are practicing that thing, if it's not accepted, the Almighty of the Yoruba Judah people, which is the God of the Torah, is still not going anywhere. Even if the whole world is practicing it. God forbid that the whole world be practicing something that, God is not accepting. So that's why we're calling everybody now that, guys, no matter where we come from, there are certain people that originally inside, which were born into the faith, and predominantly the black people, because historically we see this, there's no need lying anymore. And that's why we see what is going on in the world today. The superpowers are trembling, they don't know what to do, they're confused. So they're going to bring out the ultimate deal now to destroy everything. Because if a criminal knows, he's been caught red-handed, he will try everything now. There's only hiding, whatever, just to save his neck. And that's what's going on, But this is gonna be very, very hard, because it is destined that Jacob must rule the world. It's destined that Christ must reign 1,000 years of peace, which the guy who is troubling the world now with his super concept of globalization and all the things that's been doing since he hijacked the power, because Torah made us understand that this power was given to a certain person, certain people, certain government, certain authority to exercise all this on humanity. And there's no need to look too long, far, what. We know who are in control, So we are not buying any superficial, whatever goes down, whatever they say, whatever the papers are talking about, whatever the TVs is just, to give support to what the Bible has actually, stated that it's gonna be. So what part are we playing there? Purposely I'm actually making this video to actually speak to Yoruba people, but once my other brothers comes in that are not Yoruba speaking, I have to quickly, go into the language that can also understand benefits them. So if there's anyone want me to speak French, if anyone want me to speak English, if there's people want me to speak the Yoruba language, just tell me. If there's anyone want me to speak even Swedish language, in these four languages are more like okay to speak. Thank you for the likes. I just wish there was a peace in the world. I want the same things as you. But as a physicist, I believe in the Big Bang. If you ever get time, look up Brian Cox. Very clever man. Yeah, Jack Marrow. Okay. I might check Brian Cox. I would try to check him. Yeah, I just wish there was peace. There will be peace. There will be peace. It's a good wish, and that wish is coming to pass. But the thing is, are we going to be there when that peace finally arrives? You know, because there will be peace, but not everyone will be part of that peace, government. Is for the people who have actually washed themselves clean. And what would you mean by that? That believe that the Torah is meant for salvation of mankind, in the God of it, and is Christ. Full stop. Easy mathematic. There is no buying, selling in this. Personally, we hold the biggest headache is the Bible. The power that is supposed not to be, yeah. I mean, like, there's way too much stabbings and shooting, unfortunately. Oh, yes, Jack. You see the stabbing and shooting now is gonna be even more. And it's not just in England. If you compare like Haiti, if you go to what's going on in Nigeria right now, people are being kidnapped and killed, and their organs are being harvested. and we're not talking about that. And this be happening in many, many places. The Yoruba land is being infused every day. Yoruba person is being by kidnappers that collected money, big money, and if they decided to harvest that person's organ to the only God knows where these organs are going. These are the evil. So is stabbing and organ harvesting, is it not on the same line now? And killing and shooting, it's the same. Who wants them? Satan. Why does he want them? He hates God and he hates the creativity of God. And what's the head of the creativity of God? Man. Man was made last, but man was made to supersede, to control all the things that were made before man, because man is a representation of God. God is like us. We are like God. He said he made us in his image. So Satan is very, very, very not happy because he now uh gave power to even man that he made to be the judge over the devil after all is said and done. We're gonna judge him. So he hates because he revolted, and while he revolted, he cannot stay in the world. Even if the world, even if he was cast into the world from the heaven, because he made a coup there, they had to throw him down here. Why they throw him down there? He thought he was going to have peace in the darkness. Mosai came. That was a creation story I'm telling you from the other side. And Mosai came and said, there be light. And even when the light came, it became a trap for many of the fallen angels. So many of them are trapped under the ground till now. And when they be loose, they'll be loose into hell at the end. So when the end will come, these guys, Satan himself will be bound in 1,000 years, and that's when the peace will happen. Jack, if you want to see that peace, you know what we're going to do. It's not long anymore, because the way we see things happening now, these guys, these superpower guys, or whatever they call themselves, they've lost it already. They don't know the next thing. So the only option for them now is to play the last card, if we say that. And the last card, we hit anybody. I don't know how they're gonna play, but I know digitalization of the human body is the ultimate, and no man should do that. No man should digitalize his body. No man should put any numbers to control his bank account, and to control his health, and to control every other things while this thing is installed in your body. In fact, to make a man a robot, half human. So all these iPhone, we won't need them. You just be operating from inside you and numbers. In fact, it's the 666 digitalization. So that's the ultimate. And before that, they have to let hell loose on earth: stabbing, shooting, war, killing. But to be outside of those things, that's why Christ is calling us to be safe, because He will guide us through all that. All the people who believe in Him. And if we're going to die in it, that we believe to the end, because in fact, the spirit cannot die, the body dies. So the spirit will wake up again to live good or to live in pain forever. So true, I live in England. Yeah, I like your take on things. You are not pushing religion onto people, you're just spreading your knowledge. Thank you, Jack Maro. That was what Christ did. Christ wasn't forcing anyone. And people, Jack, I like the way you bring this up, because it shed a light on how people actually want to bastardize the faith of Christ. Christ was the only gentleman. I mean, among the superpower men, you have Samson, you have Muhammad, you have Hitler. I mean, people who had a say in the world, whatever, with the time they lived in the world. You understand what I'm saying? You had Nebuchadnezzar. Now you have EU. All those people, none of them were tolerant like Christ. Every one of them shed an innocent blood. Was it David? He shed Uriah's blood. Was he Goliath? Was he Hitler? Was he war again? No matter how good that man is, he did one evil. But the Torah said us that Christ had no sin, and yet still killed the way he was killed, crucified. And we know that he's coming again, because everything he said it's just right. If it's a yes, it's yes. It's practice that because he's the Son of the Almighty and is destined to reign with as a king over Isheriala, which is Israel, which is the ancient Israel, now coming from a tribe of the 12 tribe that is called Judah, because Judah is the head of Isheriala. So Christ is from Judah heights, so he's gonna come back, and that's why they're letting everything go. War, killing, boom, bam, left, right, center, just confusion. Anything that can be troublesome for humanity, they bring it down. Why? Because purposely, if they have anything they can do to stop Christ from coming and take down their government, because you can't have two sheriffs in town. You understand that? I mean, you can't have you in and Christ coming and he's gonna put Moses' law, because because Torah says he's gonna rule with an iron rod, and that means obey and don't complain. Why obey and don't complain? Because now, bear in mind, is put Satan under a chain. Satan is not existing anymore. So the guy that's causing confusion is put somewhere, and it's gonna be there in 1,000 years. So there are reasons to do everything. So the people that have not been crushed by the event of the last end, because it's gonna be brutal, they're gonna be flying planes like bomb tankers and blow up because they won't find any solution to their diplomacy, anything, because God won the hand for them. It's enough. And they will be saying, oh, we can sit down there and do diplomacy about this war going on there, blah, 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 blah. And just will be more and more and more until you come to your doorsteps. So don't wait for that. The preparation we can make can be anything good. Can make preparation for food, can be preparation, but the most preparation we can make is preparation for our minds. Where we're gonna be when things finally go down, or when Christ actually come to give to everyone according to what they've done. Are we going to face him and say, "Oh, Christ, I'm very sorry. I tried, I tried my best, but I didn't." And in fact, there's no talking, because it will be too obvious where everyone is going. Some will be with him under the earth, doing the 1,000. The people that used to be terrorizing his people will now be slaves to his people if they escape the bombings and the killings and the whatever. They will live through that 1,000 years, be a what? Doing the same things the black people were doing to them. That's being the cleaners, being the washing, being the security, being everything. And this is going to be in righteousness. Some of them won't be that because they've practiced righteousness to that level that even Christ now can put them in the office of a tribesman. So a Buddhist might find himself being a chairman of a local government when Christ returns. A Buddhist, a shaman, and then you have some former Buddhists who are now cleaning the gutters. And in Sharia, you see, everybody will take what they actually say, but his own people now will now be ruling with him from Jerusalem, which the Gentiles are trying to now blow off. You see how everything turns around. Yeah, there is no book that will bring this concept the way we bring it. I've not opened any history book. I'm just saying things that the Most High Himself has stored in my brain and in my mind, and I've seen it. I know it. And he's the only authority that still gives power. Christ is the only authority that still gives power in the now. I mean, if you read about science, you have to go to a library. You have to believe in some theses and theories of some past, scientists and physicists and things, and bring it forward and back, which is also but who is going to explain to you right now and can show you right now? Christ has the power to show you what is going to be without going to any lab, without going to anything, just calling on him. He will reveal things. So these are the advantages, brother. And to my Yoruba people and my work brothers, my brothers everywhere, because actually we are from the same. We are from Eda Amo, Adam, made of clay. Eda Amo, Adam, made of clay. So as long as that's the case, we are one, in that case. But then Christ have to divide people while they, especially on the Tower of Babel, where they practice all those scientific things and the building Tower up and constructing evil stuff. If they had been doing good things in that Tower of Babel, God would have spared that house. I really want to believe that if they're praising God in that tower, He would have spared, but they were planning evil in there, doing evil night and day. And Mosiah had to change the languages, break it into several languages from one Abaori language, which is Yoruba, Abaori Hebrew. So these are the knowledge that is coming to light now that you can't pay for them. They are too expensive. They are too cheap to be paid for, and they are too expensive to be actually bought, So, but the Most High is making us to understand it through the time, because so that we won't say we have excuses. We need to get quickly to God, get baptized, stay, hang on to His prophecies, to His words, because, like I said, there's nobody who's gonna bring anybody to book except the God who wrote that book. And they don't want us to know that, or they don't want us to believe in that. They'll be saying to you, plan 3035, Europe 4045, 2055, to make you believe that is their government is not going to go too long anymore. And they know it by what is happening. They know that the children of Israel are waking every day. God is raising up salvation for them and saviors. Traore is coming up. I heard this morning that they just overthrew the government of Ivory Coast. Praise Oyoiwa. All the bad eggs out. All the good children of God in right now. Yes. We've been in this jungle for so long, people. We are not wicked people, but they've made us the face of wickedness and poverty and everything that's wrong. How can the people that have received the law from God on Mount Zion now be this one that is stabbing and killing and terrorists and everything? Because you divided them, because you destroyed them, because you make them you poison their faith. You poison. You went in their you mix up you mingle with them and you destroy them from within, and make them to believe in nonsense and turn their back against what they actually stand for, which is righteousness on earth. So all these things are coming back to realities, and people are now understanding that, in fact, they think they've been knowing is not what they should, be knowing So thank you. Maybe I'm a bad person. I don't know. Jack Marrow. You know what? The Yorubas, they used to say one thing. The Yorubas, we have a proverb. We say, any burumo. It said the weak went to my softening. Any buru, that means it said somebody that's wicked, they know, but they're waiting for somebody to tell them. I'm not saying you're wicked. It's just, the inside of us knows what we're doing. If you do something right, your heart will tell you. If you do something wrong, believe me, your heart also will tell you. No matter how much you resist that fact, when your heart is telling you, we know. But now, that is just on the theory. That's just on the platform. Now, when we move into the higher ground, we talk about there's no good person, right? So, for person to be actually good in front of God is to follow His commandment. There's anybody that obey Him is that person that is good for Him. And if we good before God, who's going to condemn us? In fact, they say, if our mind doesn't condemn us, then we are free indeed. And if they say, if Christ save you, if Christ set you free, then you have, if the Son of God, if the Son of Man set you free, then we are free indeed. So if Christ Himself make us understand who God is, because He's the one that knows His Father, and He came to us to make us understand that, then we can actually say, yes, we know the truth. Not the government. The government will make us understand the opposite. Why? Because the guy that gave them the power, that Revelation is talking about, Revelation, that He gave the power to the beast, blah, 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 the guy is not God. So they have to satisfy that guy. So Jack Marrow, I really, really, appreciate you coming. And guys, thank you so much. Black Clover Girl, Jack Marrow, thank you so much, guys. And I pray that the Most High, all of us are bad person come inside us, because anyhow, we do sin every day. But then we can't condemn ourselves, because we have hope. We have the grace of God to come again and again and try again, but not purposely going to sin, because that's what many of These churches are preaching that we're living under grace. God hasn't given us grace to go to sin every day, and you know, sin might come is of mistake. Then we understand, then we use the grace to come back and pray and get forgiven instead of being stoned to death as it was in the ancient time. You understand? So that's why grace pumping. But the law is a barometer, is the one, is one don't sin, don't sin. Is the one we follow the law. We say, okay, thou shalt not touch, thou shalt not eat, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not stab, thou shalt not steal government's money, thou shalt not oppress the citizens, thou shalt not oppress the poor people, thou shalt not leave them in darkness, thou shalt make them free, thou shalt make them happy. But if the citizen is corrupt now, thou shalt suffer. Because sin, the consequences is a punishment, and Musa has a way of punishing collectively and individually or whatever. So we should try to abstain from sin. Maybe I know. What if you've lost hope due to mental health problems, though? Um, there are a lot of problems. Mental health is one of them, sure, and is a one big problem that can actually, destroy so many things more than anything else, because it goes right in our thoughts, and it makes us depressed. Yeah, but the good thing is there is no problem that the Most High, through Christ, cannot solve. Plus, including and added to mental health. Okay? Why we believe in Him? He loves us. And if you love someone, you help them. And the help we get here is like bringing things to Him and tell Him things. He knows, but He will want us to say to Him that this is where we have struggles with our mental health. We read the Bible. It's powerful enough to change your thoughts. That's why they won't take it out. You speak to Him. Abraham had no Bible. Christ in His time, the Bible wasn't completed. You speak, you talk, you say what you want. And if we're living in faith and we're doing what is right, believe me, mental health will disappear as quickly as we can even remember. Yes. Because why? He wants us to serve Him in good. And if He put any problem there, believe me, He's putting it there to hold you down. Because He knows you that but the moment I release Him, He start running everywhere against me, not in my house, because they're going to these other things. So, but mental health or any other problem at all, the Most High is capable, more than able. Yeah. Don't lose hope, brother. Don't lose hope. If we lose hope, then we're not worthy to be a man. Our faith is very small. So faith is that thing that keeps us. That's why we have faith, is the hope that no matter what, if we're standing on this ground to the end, there will be salvation, because the solid rock, and that's Christ. It's just frustrating, as I've been suffering with mental health for over half of my life. Now is the time to be free. And I'm speaking to you now, your mental health is gone. Yes, it is. So it's bygone. Okay? So we move because the Torah has all the examples, all the examples, everything that's happened to any one of us is happened before to someone. So it's a collection of things that we can also relate to. So no matter what happened, will we be remember Paul also was sick. He had a problem with his health. Paul was sick, and was asking Christ to take the sickness and heal him and stuff. Did he got healed? No. Christ said, my grace is sufficient for you. Keep it up. When I see that you're weak now, people will see that you're weak, and they will see me in you that, oh, this guy that is healing everybody. Look, he's still finding it difficult. But then, that means that means God, that means someone is controlling him, not him controlling himself. He's got someone super that put him in that situation, but use him to actually lose other people. You don't see that connection there. So it's serious, you know. I pray that English people will also come back to the way that they received the faith when they were Romans, while they were living in Rome as a Roman, when there was no EU and all that, you know. So they receive it properly from Paul, and then the Satanists and the Luciferians started mingling with things, and it came to where it is now. So every one of them have to go back. Don't treat the black people bad, okay? Don't. In fact, some of them don't know these things. If you know them, speak to them about it. Through you, they might even hear, even if you're white, and tell them what they should do for them to be accepted by their God, so they can, get out from their situations. Because everyone can see, it's evident. There is the people that's under a curse and still understand, but they're understanding now, then they still need to get, uh, get to their rightful place in the world, because uh, it is destined that Jacob will rule, not Esau. Okay? So, guys, let me round up now. It's coming to 50, so I gotta go. It's just frustrating. Okay. I don't let anyone see that I'm weak. I put on a brave face and a smile for everyone. That's fantastic, Jack. Yes, that's fantastic. There's nothing that's even beautiful. And by doing that, even, it's affecting your state of mind also in a very positive way. Because believe me or not, Jack, if you tell your story, somebody might tell a even worse story to you, that you think, oh, my own problem is nothing, because all of us carry one. Believe me. So by you keeping it inside and bringing a smile face, it's something also good for your morale, good for your attitude, good for your character, because you're not depending on anyone, and you're not depending on anyone to have pity on you. You depend on God to have mercy on you. Everyone should be accepted if you're a good person. The color of your skin shouldn't matter. I'm saying that as a yes, you're right. Yes, there are black people who are stupid and crazy and wicked. They are Indians, they are, and some of these same people, they are Arabs, they are very lovely, very fantastic, very godly. They are white people, very humble, very beautiful, very helpful. They are black people, So yeah, so all these people are the children of God, because these are the characters of God. So God has his children in every tribes of the world. But he's choosing Jacob to show these people how to behave in the beginning, from the beginning, because nobody know God. So you start relating to God, and start documentation, start teaching kids, start teaching families, start making prophets of them, and then the word of God spread all over. This is how I want my children to behave. As opposed to how Satan doesn't have any constitution, he doesn't write anything, he take the rest when God has